Yo, YouTube. What's going on? Comic-Jon here again with another Black Widow filler video. This one, it's going to get deep. It's probably going to run a little longer than usual because this is Black Widow's role in Avengers Infinity War. I had kind of fallen off the MCU. I was like a casual fan. And when I saw the preview for Infinity War, I thought, okay, this looks like Civil War times 10, so I'm going to go see this. And I did, and I was blown away. And Nat's role is pretty awesome in this movie because, as we spoke about in the earlier video in Captain America Civil War, she seemed like she wasn't on either team, but eventually sided with Cap and kind of walked away from Iron Man like, I don't really trust you, and maybe you should just back off because Cap isn't going to stop. So she obviously, she bails and she joins Cap, and she kind of helps him find the instigator of who was causing them to have this civil war. As a result, she had to escape from the government, helping Captain America while being on the run. And she eventually joined him and Sam and Falcon in stopping terrorists. So here we are, Infinity War. We don't see Natasha until Scarlet Witch and Vision get attacked by the Black Order, by Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive, I think. And anyway, Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight are trying to take Vision's Mind Stone, obviously, because Thanos wants all the Infinity Stones, and Vision has one in his head there, and he's obviously with Scarlet Witch, and they're living kind of like a boring, like sitcom-y kind of life. And then they decide to go out and take a walk, and then they get attacked, and they're kind of in trouble. Vision's been like stabbed. He's just not doing so well. He's having a hard time phasing, so he can't, just slide through the weapons. So, Wanda helps him, and she's throwing, the Black Order, the Proxima Midnight, and Corvus Glaive all over the place. And then it starts to look a little scary, and a train shows up. And there's a train, the train's going by, the train passes, and who's standing behind the train but Cap, the first Avenger. And Proxima throws her, pitchfork thing at him, and he catches it, throws it back, but not really throwing it at Proxima Midnight, because look who's coming up behind her, Black Widow. She catches the pitchfork, they're fighting all around, Falcon comes in, Corvus Glaive gets stabbed bad and kind of thrown off, and Cap and Black Widow are fighting back and forth with the Black Order, and they finally get them down, and the Black Order's kind of like, yeah, you probably should have just killed us, and then they get Thanos beamed up and out of there, and even the weapon goes out of Cap's hands. But there we go. It's the first time that we see Natasha, Black Widow, after Civil War. She's with Cap. She's fighting on their own terms. So, the government didn't need to call them to come in and save Scarlet and Vision. Scarlet Witch and Vision, they kind of keep tabs. And Scarlet kind of even yells at them, yo, didn't we say, stay close? We'll keep, check in. Steve, where are we going? And Steve's like, we're just going to go back to the Avengers facility. I don't think Tony's there, so we'll go there. They go there. Rhodey's there talking to the Red Hulk. I always forget his name. General, someone else out there in the comments, help me out. What's the name of General, the guy in the government that kind of presents them with the Sokovia Accords in Civil War? He's there talking to Rhodey in a hologram thing. Cap and everyone shows up with Black Widow and Falcon and Vision and Scarlet Witch and General Ross. General Ross says, hey, what are you doing here? And Cap says, we're here to fight, and if you're going to get in our way, we'll fight you too. And he then instructs Rhodey to arrest them all, and Rhodey just closes the communication down. And it's kind of like the first time they've seen each other since Rhodey was paralyzed. And it's a little awkward, but then it gets even more awkward because guess who shows up? Missing Hulk, who at the end of Age of Ultron, Hulk jumps on a Quinjet and just gets the hell out of there. And there's even like a video of Natasha saying like, you got to come back. Like, just turn that bird around and come back. We need you. And he's like, peace out. And he goes to Sakaar and Thor Ragnarok. And we'll get to that in other videos. But it's the first time that Banner and Natasha have seen each other since Age of Ultron, when they had that little flirty, what's a guy like you doing in a bar like this? Or what's a girl like you working in a bar like this? And, you know, God done me wrong. And did we miss our chance? Kind of even reflecting back to that shower scene when they're on Barton's farm in Age of Ultron. Natasha catches Banner coming out of the shower, and she says, oh, I was just about to go in. Or maybe it was reversed. I can't remember. But they kind of joke about maybe we should have taken a shower together. And then they kind of metaphorically turn that into their relationship. Like, did we wait? Did we miss our chance? Did we miss our window? So it's kind of like, hey, Bruce. And he's like, yeah, I'm back. How you doing, Nat? And so then Cap and everyone starts filling all those other Avengers in on what the hell's going on. Thanos is coming. We're all in deep shit. Who's going to help us with this? Like, Thanos has the biggest army ever. What the hell are we going to do? And even Vision's Mind Stone, that's basically what he's coming to us specifically for. Now, the other Infinity Stones are kind of scattered all around, but Vision has one in his head. And it basically keeps him alive. So they're like, okay, we need to protect Vision at all costs. We got to hide him. Where do we go? Cap's like, I know where we're going. We're going to Wakanda, motherfucker. Where the Winter Soldier, where Bucky has been kind of like as a slave, kind of like as a, you hold him here, then no one will try to, Tony won't try to kill him. And, S.H.I.E.L.D. or Hydra won't try to, brainwash him back into being crazy. So he's been there. They give Winter Soldier a new vibranium arm, and they're in Wakanda, and they give T'Challa kind of like the rundown of like what's going on. And they talk to Shuri, and they're like, maybe Shuri can get the Mind Stone out. I know I'm dragging away from Scarlet Witch's story here, but she's there during all this. She gets there into Wakanda. She goes to Wakanda with Cap and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is already there, but War Machine and Banner and Cap and Natasha, they're all there in Wakanda. And they're getting ready, and they talk to Shuri about how to get the Mind Stone out of Vision's head, and she's like, here, I'll do it like this. Just keep him up here. You guys go down there and get ready for war. And obviously we have the classic line, Black Panther, gather all your defenses and get this man a shield. And Cap gets his weirdo Wakanda shields arm things. And then Thanos shows up, and everyone's like lining up, and they put the force field around Wakanda so nothing can get in, and everyone's kind of like, yeah, I feel safe, but not that safe. And next thing you know, the Chitauri, or the his mindless beasts, Thanos' mindless army of like monster creatures, are slamming their bodies into this force field, and some of them are actually like getting through, and Black Panther's like, okay, shit. So if they can get through this side, then they're going to circle around the back, and then they're going to slowly get through the back side. So we need to just open the gate, let them through this way so we can all keep them in front of us. So they do that. Massive battle takes place. There's a point where Proxima Midnight's got Wanda, has got Scarlet Witch, like about to kill her. And she's like, you're going to die all alone out here. And then you hear that voice. No, she's not. And you turn around, and who is it? It's Black Widow and Okoye. And they're like, nah, she's not going to die alone. And those two double team, take on Proxima. Proxima Midnight, pretty badass alien, starts kind of taking down both of them. And then the next thing you know, one of Thanos' like huge like wheel monster machine things comes rolling through. And what does Scarlet Witch do? She grabs it with her matter manipulating powers, lifts it up and turns it, and smashes Proxima Midnight, spraying her blue blood all over Black Widow's face. And I think she says something like, oh, that was pretty gross. So the fight continues on. And it is important to remember that Black Widow's best buddy here in all of this, Clint Barton, Hawkeye, has been put on house arrest. After Civil War, him and Ant-Man were put on house arrest. So he is not in this. Neither of them are in this movie. which is pretty insane. And we also have the fact that Bruce Banner cannot become the Hulk. So there is no Hulk other than the first 2 minutes of this movie after he gets his ass beat by Thanos. Heimdall shoots him to Earth, Doctor Strange, to let everyone know Thanos is coming. So Banner is in like the Hulkbuster costume in this whole fight. And the fight's raging on. It's getting really intense. Shit is going down. Like, it's getting ugly, and they're actually kind of getting like overpowered here. And what happens next? Obviously, Thor comes flying in. He gets his new axe with Rocket and Groot, and he just starts cleaning fucking house. He just starts beating the hell out of everyone. Now remember, Thanos still isn't on Wakanda. So Thor is like, bring me Thanos! But Thanos is nowhere. He's not even there. So he's just beating the shit out of his army, going all over, going nonstop. Next thing you see, Thanos portals in. And he walks towards the remaining Avengers that are there. It's like he's with Iron Man, or not Iron Man, Bruce Banner in the iron suit comes flying at him. Thanos just moves reality and space and locks him up into these rocks. Groot even puts his hands in the ground and all these vines come out and they wrap around Thanos, and Thanos just smashes them off. Black Widow comes running at him. Next thing you know, the ground juts up around her and just kind of traps her in all these rocks from Thanos using the Reality Stone, the Space Stone. Cap, Thanos go at it. Thanos makes pretty quick work of him. Even Black Panther just gets punched away because Thanos' Power Stone can override the vibranium suit and just make Black Panther kind of useless. And then he gets to Scarlet Witch and Vision, which is why he's there for the Mind Stone. And while he's on his way walking through all these Avengers, just kicking their ass, Rhodey's shooting at him from the sky, and he just uses the Space Stone and crunches Rhodey's suit all around him and just throws him. He does basically the same thing to Sam, to Falcon, just kind of crunches reality and space around him and just throws him because he's headed right for that Mind Stone. That Scarlet Witch is now doing her matter manipulation and trying to, remove the Mind Stone, because as Shuri was working on the Mind Stone, the Black Order rolls into the lab, and Shuri's like, shit, get him out of here, and she's shooting with her vibranium, mittens, and Vision gets out of there, but then eventually, we're on the ground, Wanda's taking it out, Thanos catches up, Wanda's keeping him away, doing the stone at the same time. She's pushing Thanos with the matter manipulation. She's removing the Mind Stone from Vision, and boom, the Mind Stone explodes, and Vision drops. He's completely gray. It looks like he's completely dead. It looks like that was keeping him alive, and Thanos is like, son of a bitch, man, what a time. However, with me, there is no time. And what does he do? He activates the newly acquired Time Stone that he got from Doctor Strange and reverses everything, and Vision's stone comes back into his head, and that big explosion reverses, and Vision's there alive. Thanos throws Wanda out of the way and just grabs Vision by the head, pulls the stone out, and he's got the Mind Stone. He's got all 6. He puts it in. He's adjusting to the power. He's getting ready to snap. Next thing you know, boom! He gets crushed by Thor's axe. It comes flying into his chest. Caught off guard, Thanos has got a huge Uru metal axe in his chest, and he's about to die, and Thor says, you killed Heimdall, and I promised I'd kill you for that. And he's shoving the axe in further, and Thanos is like just about to die. Like, this axe has got to be just tearing everything up in his chest. And he manages to muster one last, you should have gone for the head. Snap. Everyone dies, but the 6 Avengers, Nebula, the 6 original Avengers, Nebula, Rocket, and Ant-Man. That also means that Clint Barton's family is dead. Ant-Man loses Hope and Janet and Hank. T'Challa vanishes. Spider-Man vanishes. Everyone, the Guardians all vanish other than Rocket and Nebula. Even Groot vanishes right in front of Rocket. And the movie ends with Black Widow, Cap, War Machine and a couple of even Bucky, he vanishes, and Cap's sitting there looking at Vision's like gray, dead, soulless body and just can only mutter, "My God," and that's where we end Infinity War. I hope my review was not as upsetting as the actual movie. Up next, my favorite portrayal of Scarlett Johansson's Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, in Avengers Endgame. We'll see you then.